This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Please keep in mute. If you have any questions, just ping in the chat. In the GoToMeeting chat, you can ping whatever the questions you have. At the ending of the sessions, I will answer all your questions. Okay. So because there are more than 20 people are available, so if they're asking in the middle, that will interrupt other persons. So just ping in the GoToMeeting chat your question. At the ending, I will answer all your questions. Okay. All right. So this is our first session to the MSBI. So what is MSBI? So MSBI is a tool introduced by Microsoft, and this contains three components. One is SSIS, another one is SSRS, and the third one is SSRS. What is the abbreviation of the MSBI? Microsoft Business Intelligence Tool. This contains SSIS, and this contains SSRS, and this contains SSEAS. Okay. So in this course, we are going to learn SSIS. First, we are starting with SSIS. Then we will move with the SSRS. Then SSEAS. Under SSEAS, we are going to discuss about tabular model, that is very demanding model currently, tabular model. So what is the architecture of these MSBI projects? How the project looks? Sorry. Okay, so it's already recording. So what is the architecture? When this MSBI and inside the MSBI SSIS, SSRS and SSEAS, all these three tools we are going to use. All these three tools we are going to use in our MSBI projects. For example, this is the scenario. The scenario is I have an application. The application is a supermarkets. For example, you can take the ATM centers also. This is the one ATM center I have in India. This is another ATM centers available in US and UK. Let's say it is a Citibank. Citibank is going to establish their ATM centers in multiple locations across the globe in different countries. So this is one ATM center, this is another ATM center, this is another one, and this is India, this is US, this is UK. So what will happen, as a Citibank customer, you will go to this ATM center. I am the user and I will go to the ATM center and I will withdraw the amount. Inside the ATM center, what you can observe here, you have application, nothing but interface developed by Java, .NET or whatever it is. And by using that interface, you are trying to interact with the ATM machine. And you are providing and giving some inputs to the ATM machine. And then based on the inputs, you can withdraw the amount. So when you are withdrawing the amount, that means there is one transaction completed. That means there is one transaction completed. So the completed transactions information will go and save in the backend somewhere in the database. So that database might be a SQL server or it might be a Oracle database, whatever it is. So in our case, mostly we are from the Microsoft background. It is a SQL server only. So Citibank is keeping three different servers, database servers, nothing but SQL server to store, to capture all the data coming from the India ATM centers. A server was set up in the India location. For all US related transactions, it will keep into that particular server. So what we are doing here, we are simply capturing the day-to-day live transactions data into our database. So this kind of system we are calling it as a OLTP system. This is called OLTP. So what is OLTP stands for? OLTP stands for Online Transactional Processing System. Okay, Online Transactional Processing System. That is called OLTP. And the second one is OLTP database. Means whatever the online transactional processing data you are storing in a database, that is called OLTP. So to store this data, what is the server you are using? I am going to use a SQL server. Till now we have learned about the SQL server. So SQL server contains a database, and database contains a tables, and tables contains the data. How the data is coming to those tables? The data will be coming from the application. Whenever you are performing the money withdrawal or money depositing, all those kind of information will become and saved inside your backend database. Okay, all right. And the second thing is, once the data is coming and capturing into your OLTP databases, what we are going to do? So we want to design some reports to the end users. What kind of reports? A user wants to see what is the total number of transactions from last 10 years. What is the total transaction amount each year wise? What is the total transaction amount each country wise? And what is the top 10 ATM centers each country wise? What is the bottom 10 ATM centers with the less number of transactions? Because the management of the Citibank wants to take some decisions which ATM centers they want to remove, because if there is a less number of transactions in a particular area, we don't require the ATM centers to be keep over there, and the operations cost is unnecessarily you are keeping on the ATM machines. And also the top 10 ATM centers, they are going to take that information. The reason, because of based on the top 10 ATM centers, because of the heavy transactions, and many people are waiting in the queue, because that area is very more rush area and more number of Citibank customers using this ATM center. So they are planning to establish one more ATM center in that area based on the crowd. So this is how they want to take some business decisions about their business. So to understand that, you need to present this data like a report. So by looking at that report, they are trying to take the business decisions. The main goal of this project, what we are doing is to understand about their business, and based on the understanding about their business, they can take the decisions over here. They can take the decisions over here. What kind of decisions they are going to take over here? So the decisions what we are going to take here is the ATM centers whichever is not operating, then we want to remove, and whichever the areas the Citibank customers are more number of transactions, they want to introduce new ATM centers. Okay, all right. So if you want to design a report, so how can you design a report? So to design a report, the first thing is all your data should be in one place first. All the data should be in one place. That is the first aspect. The second thing is whatever the transactions amount you are collecting from this India transactions data, whatever the amount you are collecting from the US and UK, the currency is not in the same format. US currencies might be different, UK currency is different, India currency is different, and date and time formats are different, right? So before you are going to collecting all this data from India, from US, UK, in between you have to transform this data. You have to apply some transformation techniques before you are going to load this data into your SQL Server data warehousing. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to perform ETL. Okay, we are trying to perform ETL, extraction, transformation, extraction, transformation, and loading of the data. Extraction means connecting to all data sources, extracting the data, applying the transformations, and finally loading of the data. Okay, so from this US server, India, UK, I am trying to extract the data. And what kind of transformations you are going to apply? The currency conversion, date format conversion, as per your business logic. Whatever the conversions you want to apply on your data, you can apply. Finally, the data will be loaded into SQL Server data warehousing. So we are calling it as a data warehousing. What is a data warehousing? Data warehousing is nothing but it contains a many number of years of historical data inside your SQL Server. Many number of years of historical data over here. Understand? So because every day, for example, my ATM centers are open in the morning 8 a.m. to evening 11 p.m. Of course, ATM centers are always in the live 24/7, but they keep some cutoff time for the ATM center to take the till now the transactions. For example, every day 8 p.m. is the cutoff time. So until 11 p.m. evening, whatever the transactions completed, that data we will extract, transform, and loading into again our SQL Server data warehousing. Here also we are going to use again a SQL Server only to load the data, to store the data. Okay, so we are performing a ETL. So do we have any tool to perform this ETL? Out of the MSBI, the three components, SSIS is the tool. SSIS is the tool we are going to use to perform this ETL process. What is SSIS stands for? SQL Server Integration Services. SSIS stands for SQL Server Integration Services. Means you are trying to integrate the data into one place from multiple locations. Okay, different kind of data sources and different kind of data you are going to integrate into one particular server. That is called ETL, extraction, transformation, loading of the data. So whatever the ETL you want to perform, you need a tools. One of the tool, a component from Microsoft is SSIS. Similar like SSIS, do we have any other tools available? What are the competitors in the market for SSIS? Anyone can answer this one?
Informatica.
We have Informatica.
Exactly. So Informatica is one of the tool competitor for your SSIS. Any other tools?
Abhinshu.
Abnishu?
Talent.
Talent? Yeah, exactly.
SAP Data Integrator.
Yes. For the competitors of SSIS, Informatica, this is more popular, but not now. Talent, this is popular now as well. And Oracle ODS, ODI, Oracle Data Integrator, Data Stage. Data Stage also one of the ETL tool coming from the IBM. SSIS is from the Microsoft. Informatica itself is a company. Talent is the same. Oracle ODI is from the Oracle company. So this is how we have other ETL tools. But in this scenario, we are going to use MSBI. Why we are using MSBI? MSBI is, if you are purchasing the license of the SQL Server, then you will get SSIS, RS and AS, all these three in one package. So the license cost is less compared to other tools. So that is the reason Microsoft is always giving less prices comparing to any other tools. So that's the reason Microsoft definitely having more number of customers. When there is more number of customers, there is more number of opportunities. When there is more number of opportunities, then definitely more number of developers in the IT. So that's the reason Microsoft is releasing any new product, immediately their customers will be upgraded with the less effort cost with more the number of features. So once you are coming to Microsoft family, you never go out from this family until you are retiring from the IT industry. There is very less chances transmission from Microsoft tools to other tools. I don't see any of the people. I was working for Microsoft tools. I want to learn something outside of the Microsoft. Seriously, no. But many people are migrating into Microsoft. Someone was working earlier W. Now they want to learn Power BI or MSBI or Azure, whatever. So always the Microsoft products are having good market. Since from 10 years I'm working for this one only. SQL Server, then move to MSBI, move to Power BI, then move to Azure. So this is how we can use Microsoft tools to upgrade your skills. Perfect. So the ETL tool, whatever I'm going to use here is SSIS is the tool. So by using this SSIS tool, we are loading the data every day in the early morning 4 a.m. into one place. Okay, my data is ready, and the data whatever we have is well cleaned and ready to present to the end users. So simply what you can do, you are going to design the reports. To design the reports, we need a tool. What is the tool we are going to use? That is SSRS. SSRS is one of the reporting tool. In your MSBI, you can design the reports. SSRS. SSRS stands for SQL Server Reporting Services. So this SSRS, what it will do, it will connecting to your SQL Server data warehousing. I have a data already inside the SQL Server data warehousing. So by using this data, by using this SQL Server data, I'm going to design your reports in SSRS. To design the reports, you need data. Where is your data? In my SQL Server. All right. So you have a data in your SQL Server, and you are connecting from SSRS and taking the data and designing the reports. But the problem here is when you have a huge volume of the data, inside your data warehousing, sometimes the SQL queries, whatever the SQL queries you are going to write down to get the data. How your SSRS will take the data from SQL Server? By writing a SQL query. If you have a huge volume of the data, your SQL queries performance may not be good. Then obviously your report performance also is not good. So that is the reason what Microsoft has introduced it has introduced another layer in between SQL Server, data warehousing, and SSRS. That layer is Azure. That layer is a cube database. Another kind of database they are going to use. This database is more faster. Cube database. So this cube database has designed by using a SSEAS. It's not mandatory always your SSRS needs to take data from a cube database designed by using SSEAS. SSEAS stands for SQL Server Analysis Services. SQL Server Analysis Services. So either you can take the data from your SQL Server data warehousing from here, or you can take the data from cube database. So first we will take the data from OLAP tools, the OLTP databases. I will collect all the data into one place. So once the data is coming here, then I will design a cube database. For this cube database, data will be coming from here. From here, we are going to take the data into SSRS to design the reports. So then the business users to see the reports by logging to this SSRS somewhere in the portal, and they can able to view the reports. So this is the architecture we are following over here. This is the architecture we are following. Every business if you observe, even it is a small supermarket, even it is a small medical shop also having some billing counters. Here we have taken the example of ATM centers. Let's say if you are going to supermarket, there are billing points. So whatever the billing points they are entering, the details will come and store into the backend databases. Then there is a ETL process will extract all the data from different source systems and keeping into one place. Then ultimate goal is to present this data like a report. So in between, based on the performance or any other layers we are going to use over here. In our MSBI, we are going to use SSEAS cube database to improve the performance of your querying of the data from your source systems into SSRS. Any questions over here? Okay, so that is the reason first I'm going to start with SSIS here. So SSIS stands for SQL Server SQL Server Integration Services. This is a ETL tool. This is a ETL tool. And the second one is SSRS. This is SQL Server Reporting Services. What are all the competitors for SSRS? Can anyone tell the reporting tools available? Cognos,
MicroStrategy,
Power BI. Power BI.
Tableau,
So these Power BI, Tableau, ClickView are not the competitors of SSRS or these tools. These are the advanced tools comparing to these tools. These tools are older and traditional tools. These are the advanced tools. So MicroStrategy, Cognos, OBIEE, Oracle, Business Intelligence.
Yeah, business objects.
Yeah, business object, SAP BO, from SAP business objects. Yeah, these are the more popular reporting tools. Then the third one is SSAS, SQL Server Analysis Services. Okay, so first we are going to start with SSIS, and then we will go to the SSRS and SSES. So to implement these things, what are all the softwares we require? Software requirement, it should be a Windows operating system. Better you have Windows 10 operating system. Minimum 4 GB RAM and at least 100 GB hard disk better. Not required 100 GB, but you can. And we need to install a SQL Server. And we, along with the SQL Server, you can able to get. So SQL Server is a source system or target system to store the data, and we required SQL Server data tools. SQL Server data tools for Visual Studio. This is the tool we are going to use to develop SSIS, SSRS and SSEAS related components. And to connect to the SQL Server, you need a SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, tools are different, services are different. Server is different, tool is different. Server is an install in your machine. If you want to connect to the server, you need some tool. Similarly, you are installing SQL Server in your machine. That is nothing but this one. But how to connect to the server? By using a SQL Server Management Studio. That is nothing but this one. Similarly, for SSIS, SSRS, SSES, those three servers are different. But if you want to design something, we are using SQL Server data tools. How can we install the SSIS, SSRS and SSES services? Those three you will get at the time of installing the SQL Server. SSIS, SSRS and SSES. SQL Server Integration Service, Reporting Service, Analysis Services. Okay, so I'm going to give the software links to download. I think already many of the people installed the SQL Server, right? Even though we are going to install again, no worries. So SQL Server download 2017. Click on the SQL Server downloads Microsoft. You can install 2019 as well. Click on download for free. Copy this link. So here you can download this one, SQL Server 2019 executable. Click continue. Click continue. So it is asking all this information. You just fill this some dummy information and download it. So this is for SQL Server SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. Then SQL Server Management Studio is required. I hope many of the people already installed SQL Management Studio. If anyone not yet installed SQL Server Management Studio, you can download it from here. Click on download SQL Management Studio. Just come down here. See, there is a download SQL Server Management Studio SSMS. It's downloading. I don't require it. Cancel this and take this here. the next one is SQL Server Data Tools. SQL Server Data Tools for Visual Studio 2017. Click on Download SQL Server Data Tools. Just scroll down. See here, download SSDT for Visual Studio 2017. Just take this thing. Okay, I will share this file. Please download all these three. If you have already SQL Management Studio, you don't need to download, but just download this one and this one. This is mandatory one, third one. Some people I think already having SQL Server Management Studio, SQL Server. Even though, please download this one and download this one. If you have already Management Studio, you don't need to do anything. Okay, I will share this file to everyone. I think some of the people were joined newly in this training. So can you guys please ping me your mail IDs, whoever joined newly, to get this recorded videos of every day once the class completed, and the class notes and the assignments. Can you guys please ping in the go to meeting, or just ping me on my WhatsApp number? I think better we can you can ping in my WhatsApp number. So my WhatsApp number is, I will add you in the group. So that is for better communication. 9885245722. Can you please ping me on this WhatsApp number immediately? Only those people will get these videos. I mean, class notes and the software download links. I will add you in a WhatsApp group. Please ping me. I got from one. Sudhir. Okay. Vijay Reddy. Venkatesh Tuti. Can you please ping me? Akash Chandak. Can you please? Harshit. Akash. Yeah, okay. Vijay Reddy. Who is Vijay Reddy? Can you guys ping me your mail ID, Vijay? Venkatesh Tuti, can you please ping me on WhatsApp through your WhatsApp number? That's better. Okay. Okay. I hope I got all except from the Venkatesh Tuti. Can you do? Okay. So I will share these links. Then by tomorrow, please download this one and download all required softwares. We will start the installation of the softwares in the next session. Then after we will start SSRS. Implementing SSIS we are going to start initially. Any questions about this? Daily 1 hour session this is. So in the morning, the same time 9 to 10. Covering MSBI, SSIS, SSRS and SSES. questions from anyone about this architecture? Yeah, I will share the course content. I will share the course content in your mail. Okay, so let's stop the session today bit early. Please download those softwares by tomorrow. I will show you how to do the installation on your machines. Right? Thank you, guys.